Hi and welcome to my brand new channel, Bricks and Brushes. So I've been a colourist for quite a long time now, a good few years, and really enjoy watching other people's colouring content, YouTube videos. But my other main hobby is Lego and building sets. So I thought what I would do is combine my two favourite hobbies onto one channel called Bricks and Brushes. I think going forward I will be doing videos that are either colouring or Lego. So depending on your kind of interest, you can choose whether to watch the Lego video or choose whether to watch just the colouring content. But for my first video, I thought I'd do a bit of a collab of both, and I was thinking how to do that, and came up with an idea around Stranger Things BrickHeadz. So just in the new year in January, this lovely new BrickHeadz set came out, set 40879, of 4 BrickHeadz: Holly, the Demogorgon, Max and 11. And it gave me real inspiration. I love all the colours and the 80s feel of the show. The colour palettes they use, all those bright, beautiful clothing. And I thought, actually, why don't I use those colour palettes and create something in one of my colouring books? And I thought the best way to do that would be with mandalas. So I took each of the characters and their colour palette, and then have created a mandala for them. With some of them, for example, like 11 in season 5, she's in quite a muted colour palette, which is quite unlike any of the other series really. That's also very, very similar to the colour palette for the Demogorgon. So I actually chose a slightly different palette for 11 from one of the earlier seasons, season 3. So when I get to 11, I will put that colour palette up on the screen. And then for Holly, I actually did 2. So I've done the Holly, the Heroic colour palette, which is in this outfit. And then Holly, when she was at school, just because I love that colour palette, you'll see when I get to it. So without further ado, let's have a look. So the book I decided to use was Floating 3D Mandalas. This was a previously uncoloured book for me, and it's by Tabitha L. Barnett. I bought it some time ago actually, and have been wanting to either pick out specific colour palettes of like a small range of colours to try and challenge myself, or to do something like this where I'm picking a theme or a character or a film or a book and trying to use those colour palettes to influence my colouring. So without further ado, the first thing I did was the Demogorgon. So let me turn to the page. So this was my Demogorgon colour palette, and this is the Demogorgon BrickHeadz, which is, I think they've done a really good job here actually. Probably me not so much, so I've instantly pulled off its head. But I think they've really captured the kind of hooded mouth of the Demogorgon really well. So let me just put that to one side. And then just using alcohol markers, I tried to replicate a similar colour palette to the Demogorgon. I looked up a kind of reference photo and then tried to keep it to the grey tones, the reds, and this kind of purpley red that you see inside its mouth actually. So yeah, I got a really good reference photo and thought this was an ideal mandala. It's not too detailed for quite a limited palette. So that was the first one. Moving on, I then apparently need to master how to use tabs. I then moved on to Max. So this is Max from season 5. Anyone that's a fan of Stranger Things will know season 5 was quite a big moment for Max. She played a major role in Vecna's mind, being trapped in Vecna's mind and helping the kids. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. But you really saw a kind of more grown-up Max, and I think again they captured that really well. Her hair was so fun to build. I mean, it was a lot of pieces, but I found it really therapeutic actually, just kind of working my way through, placing the bricks down and capturing Max's beautiful curly red hair. So I wanted to make sure I kind of emulated that colouring palette on this mandala as well. So as you can see, I really focused on the red hair colour, and then captured bits from her torso and her outfit, so the yellows, the deep red, and then some of these kind of like ivory colours, to give my final Max palette. I think this is probably one of my favourites. I absolutely loved how this one came out. So that is Max. And then moving on, this one is the one I actually did for 11. So I'll show you the 11 BrickHead, and I know this doesn't look anything like the colour palette on the BrickHead. So this is the BrickHead for 11. She wore this tracksuit, like jumpsuit, not jumpsuit, like joggers and a zip jumper throughout the series. But yeah, it was quite a toned down palette for 11. I guess they were trying to show a kind of more grown up 11. But I didn't feel I could do a lot with that colour palette. So I went to her season 3 clothing, which was like seriously 80s. And yeah, tried to copy that palette onto a mandala. I went a bit more detail for this one because it's quite bright and colourful. And I will show you the reference photo here. Yeah, hopefully you can see I've captured that quite well in the mandala, trying to keep the bright pinks, the blues, the clashing sort of neon colours that really show Max in season 3. And then lastly, sorry, I said Max, no, 11 in season 3. Lastly, I went on to Holly. So Holly was a kind of new focus character in this season. We've seen her in other seasons, but not to the same extent. And Holly was really part of the main plot line for season 5, and had a bit of transition to Holly the Heroic. So the BrickHead is in her Holly the Heroic outfit with the yellow caped hooded jacket, the beautiful kind of blue pinafore type dress, and the red neck scarf. So I tried to capture all those colours, teals as well in her hairbands, and create a palette that really reflected Holly. And I'm really pleased how this one turned out actually. And I love this one so much that I thought I need to show you the transition for Holly. So I then decided to move on. And for my last one, oh, I need to work on moving to these tabs, don't I? I went for the initial Holly. So the mandala you just saw was Holly the Heroic. This is Holly at the beginning of season 5, where she's still very much in her kind of innocent child era, hasn't met Vecna yet, hasn't met the Demigorgons yet. So her colour palette was really bright, very 80s. You see a lot of teals, pinks, greens in this gorgeous jumpsuit that she wears. And I love that kind of colour palette so much that I looked up a reference photo. Again, I'll put it on the screen. I looked up a reference photo and decided to put that into my final palette. So that's all 5 pages I coloured in Floating Mandalas by Tabitha L. Barnett. And they were all around the colour palettes and themes of Stranger Things, and went alongside me building this lovely BrickHeadz set. So I hope you've enjoyed my first video. As I said, going forward, I am probably going to split out the Lego and colouring elements into their own categories. So do some colouring videos, some Lego videos. I mean, we'll see where this channel takes me. I might end up going more down one route than the other. But for the beginning, I thought it'd be really fun to just do a bit of a combination. So yeah, taking the colour palettes and creating these beautiful mandalas. So I'm really pleased this is now a coloured book, and to have done 5 pages, and I had a great time colouring these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.